Hello and welcome to my awesome health journey, and I am celebrating week 3 of not aggravating my right hamstring, which is good because I aggravated for like 4 weeks in a row beforehand, and it was frustrating. So taking it slow, I think, has been good. My main question is when I start pushing myself. I think next week I'm gonna do 3 miles an hour for base, and then when it's push it, 3-1-4 incline, and then like all out 315, and then do that for next week, and then slowly increment up a little bit. And because I don't want to re-aggravate my hamstring and have to start all over again. That's my main worry right now. But honestly, overall, I'm feeling good. Got a lot of compliments over Thanksgiving about how I look, which is nice. Just seeing family and stuff, and it's been a while for some of them. But yeah, I'm looking smaller, which is good. And I'm feeling better. That's the most important part, is the feeling better. Is how you feel. Is the most, I think, the most important part, because it's like how you feel overall. And the working out has helped. I know, I talk about the metformin study, but I know this working out has improved my physical health because I feel a lot better. I noticed that a lot in yoga on Wednesday, as I'm able to do more of the exercises throughout the entire session. I'm able to, go from downward dog down to upward dog and back up a little. Well, maybe not so much back up. That's still hard on my knees and stuff. But, I'm doing more of the transitions, and I'm doing more of the poses, and that feels good. And something that was really cool, I went to Portland the day before yesterday, Thursday, with my sister drove because she likes driving. And so just being in the back seat, because my dad, he gets the front seat, is hard on my back and hips especially, and my legs. And other than the stiffness of, sitting down for 3 hours, I actually felt pretty good. I didn't feel a lot of pain coming out. Like my knees and ankles didn't just hurt. I felt pretty good on the way there and the way back. I was pretty happy with that. Those are those non-scale victories that people talk about. And those simple things you don't think about when you're not old and out of shape and fat. I guess when I was young, I didn't think about how I felt in a car for a long period of time. But now that's something I do think about and notice a lot. That feeling of like, because it's just so much pain and all that blood just sit there and pulling, and you're finally moving it, and you just feel that lethargicness. And that was less. I'm not saying I felt 100% perfect, but I felt so much better. And those are the things that that adds up to make me feel good. Because, I was talking to my aunt, and she was saying like she couldn't do what I had done of going to Orange Theory almost 600 times, which will be sometimes next month. And that always boggles my mind, mostly because I was thinking when I first started, like my back hurt so much that I didn't twist any exercise for the twist. I didn't twist. I barely bend. Like I didn't do like good mornings and stuff like that. Didn't do deadlifts. I barely did. I'm not really doing lunges and things now too much because of my knees. They hurt. And I talked to my dad and like, do squats. Like, they hurt. It's like, you don't think I'm in pain the entire time when I'm doing like squats with my knees? My knees hurt. My hips hurt. They hurt, but that's part of the reason why I do them. Is I notice in time it makes it hurt less. Building the muscles around joints is good for your joints, and they make your joints feel better. You just have to push through that awful, painful period, and once you start building muscle, it starts feeling better. And once you start, just your heart getting healthier, you just start feeling better, and it's worth it. Even though it's hard at first. I'm not saying it's easy. I had to totally utilize every trick in my book to do it. I had to disconnect my desire with my actions. I had to create a lot of positive reinforcement. I had to make a commitment to making these videos. I had to change my mindset a lot, work on my mindset a lot. I 100% talk to myself how I don't want to go as I'm putting on my clothes, so that I associate not wanting to go with going, as well as associate wanting to go with going. I also have to work on not celebrating so much and thinking to myself, oh, I can skip a couple days because I feel better. That's, I think, honestly, I almost didn't work out today. I took yesterday off because it's just the drive home. I didn't get to sleep until 1. And then I wanted to, hang out with my mom and my sister. And also thinking about it, it was not a bad reason to skip that workout. So I skipped. But then I thought, do I really want to work out today? And I didn't. I did not want to work out today. But my mindset was I need to work out 3 times a week because that's the minimum for longevity. Because another thing I'm utilizing is my fear of death. The fact that I don't want to die, the endless nothingness, even though I don't experience, but the fact that I don't experience anything for eternity is just frightening to me. And I like to postpone it as long as possible. And so working out 3 times a week is the minimum that I can do that will help push off death, all-cause mortality by like 20 or 50, I forgot the percentage, but it's a significant percent. I mean, if it was a pill, it would go, they could easily sell it for like $1,000 a pill. But, so my minimum is 3, and I've only worked out twice this week, so I'm like, you know what? By your rules that you set yourself, you need to go. And because that's the thing, object in motion stays in motion. Once you give yourself an out, it's really easy to give yourself an out. And there was no good reason for me not to work out, which is another thing. If I was actually hurt, it would have been fine. If I was sick, it would have been fine. If I had important family things to do, it would have been fine. But I didn't. I felt fine. There was no good reason to miss. So if there's no good reason to miss, I might as well go. And yesterday was also having that extra day of rest is not a bad idea. But I need to go at least 3 times. And so today I went, I worked out. I'm happy I did. I feel good. That nice little sweat after working out, that feels so good. So yeah. So basically, I don't know if I don't really have a point. I'm more rambling because I just have so many thoughts in my head of, talking to people, especially how it just comes up. Because, I've lost over 100 pounds in the last 3 years. That sparks conversation. And I've done almost 600 Orange Theory workouts, and those workouts are hard. I know a lot of people, well, not a lot, but I know a few people who started Orange Theory but couldn't push through it because it's difficult and inconvenient and sucks. But it's worth it. It's worth it to do something, and it's something I could do. As I was talking to another person about working from home and how they would be lonely, I'm like, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I go to Orange Theory is because I get some, human contact that makes me feel less lonely, and going through the day that helps. And then that's another thing that helped with me going. It's just finding those things that keep you going because it's worth it at the end. That's the most worth it thing. Moving is worth it. That's the thing I've learned in this process. And it's the thing, if the things do fall off in my life, I am, like I said, I'm worried about being laid off, but I've been worried about it for like 4 years now. But it might happen. And if that does happen, I truly hope, and I can't afford to go to Orange Theory anymore, I truly hope I keep the idea that I need to move. Even if I'm destitute and having to live with one of my friends or family, I have to keep on moving. That can't be something I ever do again. I can't go back to not moving because it's so important and so worth it. It's very worth it. It's probably the most worthwhile thing I've done for myself in the last couple of years is getting the mindset and actually doing it. And hopefully, can't say for sure because I don't know until it happens. And honestly, I hope I never have to figure out if it happens. But it's worth it. I'm telling you, if you're thinking about whether you should or not, you should. And it's worth it. I don't care how much it sucks because it does suck. It will suck. But eventually it'll suck less. And then you'll feel better. So as I always say, I love you for who you are. Thank you for your support. And as always, you are worthy.